My name is Arturo Giamuniani and I'm the president of Argent Homes.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Modern Homes, brought to you by Argent Homes, Tampa Bay's luxury modern home builder. Thank you, Eddie, for joining us. I appreciate you coming. Eddie, tell us a little bit about you. What do you do at Argent Homes?
So thank you for having me again on this week's podcast. Podcasts are getting a little bit of very intrigued and very entertaining. So I'm the senior construction manager here at Argent Homes.
Okay.
One of my many of tasks is to make sure the homes are being built according to our plans. Schedules are met, not just schedule, but cost to build.
Budgets, yeah.
Our budgets are maintained as close to our budget as possible, which that on its own is a job of its own.
No, I agree with you. And today's episode is about how do we use technology to get things on track, on schedule, on budget, such as software that we use at the office. Obviously, we're not running into 11 job sites every day, but we do have good reporting systems where it comes to us and then we can make decisions. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, such as builder trend, fast field forms, email communication, and different things that really is important to manage day-to-day tasks through our superintendents and our subcontractors, but not being on the field all the time. And we also use a lot of video chatting as another way of communication that we have with the guys on the field.
I agree. I think everything you're saying is very key. I think construction nowadays, or in the 21st century, 22nd, 23rd.
Who knows, right?
Who knows right now? Gotta be politically correct, I guess.
Can you believe right now it's like we're already in December of 2023? Like, time flies.
It's how they
by
say,
like
what,
that.
I can't wait till next year. It's only about 3 weeks away, plus or minus a few days.
But it goes very fast.
Hey man, time, you know how they say time flies when you're having fun, right?
Yeah, and the job is a lot of fun.
But, you bring up a good topic. A lot of our viewers, or a lot of the people in the construction field, or maybe not even in construction field, have a misinterpretation of construction per se. Construction is just not what you can build, but it's also how you manage it, because you can have a projected timeline of, say, it's going to take us a year or 18 months to build a home, or whatever the case is. But if weather isn't taken into consideration, sub-schedules, material costs, or material inflation, or materials not being readily available, or like how we do at Argent Homes, where all our materials, for the most part, is all custom or flown in from Italy, or appliances. That's a big part of it. I think it's about 50 to maybe 60% of the job in reality, I think.
And that's what we call long lead items, right? And that's what you need to manage very carefully when you start projects. If you have, especially with appliances right now, where it's taking a year or sometimes even more than a year, you need to put that in consideration.
No, I agree with you 150%. I mean, a lot of people just don't understand that, okay, why does it take that long to get a refrigerator? Well, we don't use.
Well, they're used to, they're used to be like, okay, well, I go to Best Buy or Home Depot and pick something up. And when you're talking about integrated appliances, LED lights inside, all interior black finish, with top of the line technology, you're talking about custom material.
I mean,
custom stuff.
Some of these companies even say, for say Gen Air or Thermador, or some of the appliances that we do use, some of these companies, the build time is long. And I
It's
mean,
like
in
a
all
car.
realities,
Yeah.
it's all reality. It's like you go buy a car
Yeah, it's
nowadays.
like a car.
Yeah, I'm looking to buy a truck. I've gone to the dealer 5 times,
Yeah.
thinking I'm going to be able to go in there.
Pick
I
it
want
up.
that one.
Yeah.
Well, that one's sold already, but I can have one for you in 3 months.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to wait 3
Pretty
months.
much, yeah.
But that's different for construction. Why? Because you have to take that schedule time in consideration. Who's it going to affect? Okay, our viewers may not understand that a refrigerator is affected by who? An electrician. Who also is affected? Our drywall guys, our
Cabinet guys, yeah.
plumbers, our cabinetry work. There's a lot of things that come into play with every single thing that you build in reality.
Correct.
And you brought up a good point. Our technology. What do we use to help manage that? We use Builder's Trend.
So, for example, and I really like Builder Trend for obviously schedule management, but also for daily logs. And the way we use the scheduling portion of it with Builder Trend, you can obviously link the subs, link the owners, and put your schedule together.
Correct.
And you can put your schedule, and then everybody sees who's coming after them.
Mm-hmm.
And then if your job is to install the countertops by Friday, because on Monday we got the plumbers coming to put the final fixtures, and you don't finish it, somebody got to communicate.
Correct.
With
Correct.
Builder Trend is also nice because if you're not completed, the plumber will know,
Correct. Correct.
and then there's
Well, it
communication.
provides a good tie-in
Correct.
amongst all the trades, and but that's also a job on its own, because then you become what I say a babysitter for grown-ups. In reality, I mean, let's just be honest about the entire thing. It's not just the experience you may have in construction. Yeah, you may
No.
come in here and you see something because you've seen it before in the past, so you have a mental solution. All right, we can fix that. It's not a problem. Okay, that's just half the battle. But what happens, like how you said, when you have 3, 4, 5 trades coming in, one right behind the other, and now the first trade in and out, no problem. Boom, it's on Builder's Trend. We see the calendar. We add our colors, whether it's yellow or orange or green. We have our own system, which works fantastic, where we, either myself or you, we put a sub in. It sends everybody that gets involved, including site supers, office managers, just lets them know what's going on. That way, everybody knows what's going on, to include the subs. But then what happens when sub number 2
Doesn't
now
show up.
delays or doesn't show up? What happens is it falls on us now to become the POs.
Yeah.
Hey, where are you? You're delaying my job. And so construction isn't just about building it, it's managing
No,
it.
it's I think it's, for me, the building is the easy part. The managing so many subs with so many jobs at the same time, that becomes a job of its own, right?
Oh, big time. Big
so,
time.
for example, in here in Florida, in Tampa Bay, construction is booming, right? So everybody's super busy. So when you take the electrician out of the schedule because the prior trade didn't finish in time or they canceled on you, then you got to reschedule the electrician, but he has another job on schedule, so now he's pushing you 3 weeks out. Now, obviously, you just lost construction time, but also you cost money because every day in construction costs a lot of money. If the house is under construction or if it's sitting, it's costing a lot of money, especially in these spec homes. So when Builder Trend comes in, is obviously we have the colors that you said, which is we put milestone. We have different colors for inspections. We have different colors for, hey, listen, with this project, when we started, I would like to have the first day is like the footer pour that's like, yes, and then when we get to the slab or the lintel inspection, that's another milestone. When we get to drying the roof and drying the house, that's another milestone. So we keep these milestones for our supers so they know, like, hey, we need to hit these milestones. Now, the cool thing about our supers and the software we use is something called FastField.
Love it.
Tell us a little bit about FastField, because this is one of my favorite form application.
So Fast Field is a software that we use at Argent Homes to help us do our inspections. The cool thing about Fast Field is that we can create all types of inspection forms, or say inspection form, or invoice inspection forms, or sub inspection form. It allows us the ability to manipulate or create any type of form we want. I'm giving an example. We do this fireplace back here.
Yeah.
Okay, we create an inspection form. It was the fireplace put, hypothetically speaking, a foot from the back and 6 inches from the sides. If it was a gas fireplace, is there a hood installed? Is it fan
working?
base? Is it working? So it allows us to be more in the office doing the management side of it and doing the paper trail side of it, which I think, to me, yes, building the building is important, but getting to each step, to me, paper-wise, is even more important. Why? Because you dot your I's, you cross all your T's, and when you send your site super, say, hey, we have 5 bathrooms, you have 5 bathroom inspection forms. I need the tile checked. I need gaps on the tile checked. Is there residue? Did they use silicone? Okay, fine. Is the silicone glossy? Is it matte? Is it over excessive?
Correct.
Those are the things we look for.
And that's one of the things that I like, is like when we have, for example, a tile inspection form on Fast Field, like, hey, bathroom 3 is completed. Well, take a picture of the box, so we have the SQ number, we have the die number, the lot number, we have the grout color. So even if we have to do a warranty call later on, we can match it.
Correct. We have it.
And this is all documentation that sits with us for years in our database. But also you get pictures. You can do videos on that form, and it GPSs where you got it, and it stamps it with a date.
Correct.
So let's say the bathroom is done today. The super goes and inspected. Now the minute that the tile install finished, we had a chip in there.
Correct.
So now you can track back. Like, he cannot come to you after a couple of weeks. It was like, oh, it wasn't my fault.
Me,
it was the electrician.
It wasn't that. It wasn't. Which happens a lot too in construction, because
there's a lot of people moving.
So in reality, the subs are also trying to take care of their best interests. At the end of the day, they don't want to take blame for something somebody else did. I mean, I wouldn't want to take blame for, say,
somebody
the
else
biofuel not working, or, well, who did it?
Correct.
We're not playing. Construction is not a guessing game. When you start guessing in construction, that means that you're budgeting. Just might as well open the window and just throw the budget out the window, because it's basically what's going to happen.
Yeah, and it's not. I think it's accountability. It's not finger pointing. It's accountability. And then when you're accountable for something, people respect you.
Correct.
It's like, hey, listen, we have a system in here. When you work for us, you're going to work within this system, and you're going to be accountable to your work.
Correct. And the good thing is that a lot of the subs in the Tampa Bay area know Builder's Trend, and they know Fast Field. Why? Because we, in addition to building a true modern home, we also use the most up-to-date software everywhere. And we do it when we work with subs. Hey, what do you use for your time management or your project management? Oh, Builder's Trend. Then we get on Builder's Trend. It works for us. It works for the industry. To me, it's a pretty good software.
We also manage all our documents in there. So we got, like, let's say we have a revision. It just gets uploaded in there. Now everybody's on the same page that is in there.
Correct.
The other part of Builder's Trend that I really like is daily logs. Daily logs have saved us so much headache in the past, because obviously you're working on this house, for example, right? Then you go enter. Mr. Plumber showed up with 5 laborers, and this is what they did, and we still need them to come back because this is what needs to be done to pass inspection. So then when I go home at night, 9 o'clock or something, I can just look either on my phone or on the computer, and I see every single job. You're not limited to being on site, because sometimes we do spend the day on site. Yeah. Let's say we're spending it in this house, but we don't know what's going on in the other houses.
Correct.
And let's say we don't leave here until 6 o'clock. Well, that's fine, but I still want to know what's going on
Correct.
in the other house. And instead of bothering everybody and calling them at night, just log in and be like, okay, what's
And you
going
could
on?
just check it yourself because
Yeah.
the accountability is there. I mean, you're 100% correct. You know, you're, and again, it's like you said, it's not that we're trying to point the finger, but you know, at Argent Homes, one thing that we do is that we hold ourselves accountable, whether it's a positive thing or a negative thing. Why?
That's
Because
how you grow.
exactly, it allows us the room for growth, but making mistakes also teaches.
Correct.
Because if you don't know that you're making a mistake, how are you supposed to know? You
But I
know,
think
so
that's another thing with the fast field form, helps our new hires, right?
correct,
So when you have a new hire, it's a little bit difficult when you're not spending so much training them, right? But then when you train them when they are with you, it gives them also that it's a checklist.
correct,
So it's like, oh, I need to look for A, B, C, and D. If you're just going by memory, sometimes you forget about D or B, right?
which happens. I mean,
Which happens to the best of us.
oh
Even if
man,
you're a seasoned,
oh, it doesn't matter.
if you
I
have
forget
been doing,
sometimes, and I call you like, hey, did we talk about this today? I said, I know I was just so busy, I didn't get a chance to fill out the form, or I filled out 5 forms and I didn't get a chance to finish 6, 7, and 8. And we communicate. But the thing is that we do communicate. Whenever we don't fill out the fast food form, the good thing is that we follow a lot of our stuff up with emails, or
Correct.
I'll send myself an email note, or I'll add it to my calendar and I'll tag you or send you the email. Because again, yes, technology is not just in what we build the home with, but it's also in what we use to help manage the projects.
correct, the back office,
The back
basically.
office, and it's key. I think it's key. I think we can be the best home builders in the world, but if we can't manage a project in the house or in the office and be able to track and hold subs accountable, then we may be in the wrong industry. So I'm
Correct.
glad that with Argent Homes, we have implemented, or you guys are implementing, a phenomenal management system that people are using on top of building amazing modern homes. I mean, it's like you're getting the best of both worlds.
I think it goes hand in hand. Like you cannot be managing this many projects at this caliber of houses without using technology. You cannot
Oh
be
no.
writing on a piece of paper notes like, "Hey, I got this checklist." No, everything is
Hey, listen,
digitalized.
I'm a little old school, all right? I do write
No,
notes on
but it's
napkins.
that's napkins. I used to draw drawings on napkins, right?
I write
But
on napkins sometimes and then I'll
but
forget, put them in my pocket.
but it's also help our staff when you do want to go on a
Mm-hmm.
vacation. The project is not suffer. You
Correct,
can take
correct,
a vacation for a week or two, and then we can take over that project as a super, right? So
correct,
I can step in and know everything about that project
correct.
because it's all documented, because I know what the to-do list is, because I know what the schedule is. The schedule is just not in your head, and everything about the house is in your head, and then
No, it's
you
we
know
have a pretty good system of documenting it and
because
keeping it
emergencies
track.
happen, people got to take vacations, things happen, and somebody got to step in and
I
manage
mean,
that.
that's a perfect example. It happens even with our subs.
Correct.
So it's not just managing their schedule, but their problems become our problems. Their
Mm-hmm.
personal problems become our personal problems.
Correct.
Because at the end of the day, like you said it earlier, we don't only just track when the start time is, we try to track how many people come in, how long it took them to do that, because then we can get a true feel of what the timeline really is. So if he came in today on a Monday with 4 guys and he was able to get 30% of the work done, but yet we got him scheduled for 2 weeks, then we know, okay, I have a little room here for mistakes
It's
or adjusting
it's basically
something.
your data collecting, right? So
Correct.
like when you have somebody to do a whole trim out on the plumber for 3 weeks, but on week one he's still in one bathroom out of 6 bathrooms. Well, he's not going to finish the other 5 bathrooms in 2 weeks, right?
No,
So
no, no.
from that minute, you already know you're going to have a delay in a schedule, or you can communicate right away. So we can
Correct.
get ahead of the problem
Correct.
before it becomes a big problem. Maybe we can get the owner of the company be like, "Hey, listen, you finished one bathroom out of 6, and it's been 1 week out of 3. Can you send me another crew?"
Correct. Correct.
And then we
Correct.
can resolve things like that. But
Correct.
when you're just blind and you don't know what's going on,
Oh, it becomes a problem.
it causes
Because
a
then
problem.
you're going in there, you're making executive, I consider an executive decision, because at the end of the day, if your site super is waiting on you to make a decision on, say, something that's not 100% how we want it, but it will still work, we can't just take guesses at what we're doing.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So, being able to hold ourselves accountable, being able to go in and log in. Oh, I know Lath was here last week. Let me see what he put in. I can go in and just do a mental recap. Okay, they were there Monday. They got this much. Okay, now when I go talk to that same sub the following week, it doesn't matter that you were the one that talked to him the week before.
You already know what's
but
going
I
on.
already know. It's almost as if I was there with you.
Correct.
And that helps us a lot, because we're not beating the subs up over and over the same stuff.
There's a lot of the stuff is like in construction. It's he said, she said, and that is literally one of the biggest waste of times. It's horrible. It's just like, oh, Eddie told me this. No, he did not, because I know what Eddie told you, and oh, Leif told me this. No, he did not.
Correct. Like I said, it holds us accountable. It holds the subs accountable. It holds, literally anybody that partakes in our software or uses it, it just holds them accountable. Because again, it's like you said, there is a lot of he said, and oh, he said this and he said that. I haven't worked, I can say, a superior long time with you, but I've worked with you enough to know, I already know how Leif is. He would have never said that. But what's the next best thing? Call my friend, hey, Leif, quick question for you. Hey, I'm meeting with the sub. I looked at Builder's Trend, but he brought something up and I didn't see it in Builder's Trend. Can you give me just a quick recap? We talk, we communicate.
Communication is key. Communication is key.
Big time. Listen, you could be the best builder in the world. You can have the best site supers in the world. You can have the best designers in the world. But if the designer ain't talking to us and we're not talking to the site super, and the site super is in here cutting door openings at 4 foot wide, when we say, no, we only want them 3.5 or whatever the case is, then those mistakes come at a price.
Correct.
And they come at a price. They come at a time delay, a schedule affection. It becomes a problem.
The scheduling thing is obviously, it's one of the most important things in construction is staying on schedule, right?
100%.
And what is nicer than having the whole thing laid out in front of you? Because believe it or not, when you're putting everything in front of you on the schedule, on the screen, and then you're like, okay, well, I actually missed something in here, so I got to plug it in. Or then you got all your construction, 11 houses that we have right now under construction, which is a lot to manage, but then you got multiple screens with different schedules. But now you can see you got the plumber schedule in multiple houses,
then
but you know the capability of the plumber. He only has 3 crews,
correct,
not 5.
Correct. So you adjust.
And you got to be on top of your game. And it's like shuffling sometimes, you just.
Well, it's like you said earlier, in construction, you're one day you're a builder, one day you're a construction manager. I sometimes want to come into the office with a magician's hat and say, hey, we're magicians today too, but hey, I
got a funny joke that I tell everybody. I'm the janitor. But
oh man, I love it. I'm telling you, I'm gonna have to tell everybody I'm the assistant janitor. I'm telling you. But it's not also just the technology packages that we use, but it's how we handle the situation when something does come about.
things happen.
Because listen, in all our projects, we put the what if factor.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, then you're kind of just shooting yourself in the foot, because things are going to happen. Okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the plumber showed up with 5 guys. That doesn't mean that Thursday and Friday he may show up with 5 guys. He may have had an issue at another one of his jobs, or he had to adjust, and it's fine. It's acceptable. We can't control all the dynamics of what's going on, but if we know what's going on, that gives us the ability to adjust. Correct. And by giving us the ability to adjust, now we are controlling the dynamics.
I think it's basically laying out your cards, and now you see all your cards, and instead of just drawing a card and you don't know what's gonna happen, that's how I see it. It's like, all right, I want to know everything, and then I can play chess. I can move
It's like playing. It's like when you go to the casino and play Spanish 21. You know what two cards you have on your card. You know the one card the dealer had, but you don't know that card that's
It's coming
underneath,
up. Yeah.
or the card that's coming up next. You know, it's how it is. You know, it's
Yeah.
how it is. It's not. Again, it's not just how knowledgeable you are in construction, because you could be the best site super. You could be the best construction manager, you could be the best engineer, the best architect, whatever. You could be the best of what you are in your trade, but not being able to communicate with your team or with the team you're working with just becomes a nightmare.
There's too many players, and if there's nothing tying them in,
Becomes a
it
nightmare.
becomes a mess, and you will never achieve what the visionary wanted to achieve.
I agree.
You know?
I agree. Again, I'm. You know, you guys may get tired of me saying I agree, but it's just how it is. It's the truth of the industry we're in. You know, yes, Argent Homes builds gorgeous, amazing, modern homes. Argent Homes does follow a lot of these softwares that we use because we want to stay. You know, building a modern home is just not the it's not just building a modern home. You know, it's just the steps you take to reach that end goal. You know, it's not like we're building literally a 2,000 or 3,000 square foot home. You know, we're building massive homes that you may think in a typical home you have a plumber, you have a electrician, you have multiple trades.
Yeah, we got to, and this is very very a slight touch about builder trend. It can do a lot more. It can go into financials, POs, and billing. But obviously, if we keep talking about that, we'll be here for days.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, we'll be here till this Friday talking about it. But it happens.
It happens.
It happens.
I just wanted to remind everybody, this podcast is at 2 p.m. every Thursday. Follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook. This is also on Spotify, iTunes as well, and LinkedIn, and YouTube.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
you're going to be very famous, Eddie.
You can find us just about anywhere.
Yeah.
Google Argent Homes.
Google Argent Homes. Give us a call.
Give us a call if you have any questions.
Thank you, Eddie, very much for coming.
Thank you for having me once again.